Our short drive has brought us to the beautiful hamlet of Hampton, and we are here with Amanda in her beautiful restaurant, Emeraude. Lovely to see you, Amanda.
Oh, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Do you know what? This place is absolutely delicious from the front door, and when you walk in, you're always welcomed. Now, Amanda, tell me a little bit more about your move into Toowoomba and this actual Hampton area.
Well, it happened about 2 years ago. We moved from the coast, and I was a bit hot down there, so we've been there for about 13 years running a very successful cafe in Bundaberg, and we came up here to escape, and we'd come through this area, and I think it was in drought in Colston Lakes and Binghamton, and a few of those areas were very, very droughty at the time and dry, and we popped up over that up into the range, and there was this sparkling green gem sitting on the edge of the escarpment. So I guess that's where, and then we had a bit of a rest, and that's where Emeraude started. We basically found this spot here. We'd sort of looked and looked and looked, and this came up, and here we are.
And it is the perfect name, absolutely perfect,
Yes.
because it does actually mean...
like emerald or sparkling green gem, which I guess the phrase is coined for this area, which is the High Country Hamlets, which is our new tourism area. So this whole area is like this sparkling green gem of the Darling Downs.
Yes, and this is a close escape. So, and it's so affordable as well. You know, you don't have to, like you say, you don't have to get on a plane to come from Brisbane or Gold Coast. It's a short midweek or weekend escape that you can go to a beautiful accommodation, and everything's so much affordable. You know, it's so very easy access and affordable to all families or couples for a romantic getaway.
Yeah, absolutely. So you jumped in the car probably an hour and a half. If you came for that beautiful drive up through Ravensbourne, turned off at Esk, that fabulous drive up through the Wivenhoe, and then as you were coming up that beautiful Ravensbourne range, you could just be winding those windows down, smelling that beautiful mountain air, listening to the whipbirds, and then keep coming. So it's just one of those things, I think, is much more affordable if you want to get that quick, or maybe you even wanted an escape away from work during the week.
You can feel your stress levels drop.
Yeah,
like even
digital detox.
With you can feel it, the stress levels just dropping down, and you take that big deep breath, like you say, your smile comes back on your face. You don't even realise you're not smiling during the day until you start coming up that mountain. And
it's not going to cost you a fortune. I mean, you could fly in from Sydney straight into Wellcamp or Melbourne, and you could get out this way pretty quickly as well. And
internationally, international guests are welcome, because they will be amazed by all the things to see.
And relaxed. It's all about relaxing. It's all about just sort of taking a step back. Drop your phone to the side. Just take a kick back. You can go out to Bunny Canellan out at or maybe stay out at Andiramba out near Crow's Nest.
And what is it, Cloud Lake?
Cloud Lake is at Ravensbourne, where the cloud comes in on the lake, where you can rent a beautiful little house there that they sit out on the lake, and then in the morning the cloud rolls in, and they have beautiful landscape gardens. So, and then we've got plenty of places on the escarpment, like Stonehouse Retreat, 17 Mile Cottage, which sits, I think, with a view back all over the Lockyer Valley. Some of the most amazing Instagram shots you're ever going to see. And then we've got Ravensbourne Escape, where you could bring like your whole family, and I mean extended family. I think they've got about 12 houses up there. And Hazelnut Cottage, which is like put back into the scrub, and it's green. There's always going to be so many birds, and you just sit and take in the seasons.
And this is another thing. I love your passion for the seasons, because I'm a big advocate of people returning in every season to see Toowoomba. We're so fortunate. There's really nothing like this, where you can see the seasons literally change. You'll want to come back. I mean, you don't have to fly all the way to Paris to see it.
No.
But right here, the leaves, the colours, the change. But more importantly, Amanda, tell me about how often your menu changes because of the resources. Tell me about that micro.
So the micro region, I guess, is based on this area and about what's grown specifically to these growing conditions and this seasonality. So we work with lots of very small producers, some bigger producers as well, but so if something's here today and maybe there's only a small supply of it, it may only be here for a couple of days and then it's gone. So the menus change around the farmers and the producers, not around the chef. So we basically try to work very, very closely with like the beautiful Dutch cream potatoes, that we talked about, they're tiny and they're going to be spectacular, and we love the fact that they're tiny. And things like Hampton blue organic blueberries or raspberries that we got yesterday, they're nearly finished, and they're very, very short supply, and there's only a few of them, so we may only have them for a couple of weeks and then they're gone. But we just embrace that while it is. And you know, we talked about the avocados. You know, avocados, the season can be really, really extended.
Yes.
And it's just I think the growing conditions are very, very predominant. They're very distinctive up here. So that's what we're looking for. And we're looking for those producers that maybe have those beautiful little, you know, tiny little egg tomatoes, that old heirloom varieties.
And they're not exclusive. Like, you know, some people would think by the look at the menu, you know, oh, I'm not going there. It's, you know, pretentious, it's too, you know, it's not just for the adventurous people the flavours are pure. It's not, you know, and
it's
this
all
is
about, it's real food. We say it's real food. And it's probably, and people will say, oh, you know, that's great. You know, your granny, it's the sort of food your grandmother would have cooked. That's what I say. You know, it's real food. They're real flavours. They backtrack to like old breeds. You know, we're using Hereford at the moment in our corn brisket, and we're serving it at night time with white sauce and, you know, roasted onions. And there's other stuff there with, like, you know, a bit of fusion into the Asian, but you know, pretty much, and there's always going to be that bit of French, but it's, there's always something great you're going to be able to get here.
Yes.
And it changes. We've got...
The menu's so varied as well.
Yeah, it changes a lot,
Being here last night, it was wonderful. I know, it's really highly recommend to come with a small group, and everyone has a different meal so that you can taste everything, because there's so much to choose from.
Yeah.
But if you're more adventurous, would you recommend maybe, you know, if they just shun the menu and said, you know what, let chef just bring me whatever.
Absolutely.
You know, because like you're saying, with so much variety, sometimes I'm sure you'd be having in the kitchen, oh, look at those beautiful radishes or something. I haven't got it on the menu because it just came in this morning. I'll design something for whomever's adventurous enough.
Oh, look, absolutely. I think that's a lovely way to eat. Like, if you give us, and sometimes there'll be things in there that may have only just walked through that door, and that happens on a daily basis. You know, it'll be from a honey to a certain maybe a certain sort of kind of capsicum that's been grown down here, or, you know, there's always going to be something different. And I guess we know, like, you know, that we can just about feed anybody, and there's quite a few locals that will just come in and say, just send it out,
send whatever,
send it
that
out.
Must be exciting for you though, as a chef, when someone turns up with a big crate or something that, you know, you think, what is this? You know, it's a new heritage design of eggplant or something. And you're excited to think, I can't wait.
We're very lucky because the growers that are basically in this area, and that can be a little broader than basically just here, will turn up. I guess they become gamer then with their growing as well. That they know that you're going to be happy to work with them, and that you'll just go, oh well, we'll just rewrite the menu, you know. And I even spoke to an artisan producer yesterday that makes bread, baker's duck, and I said to her, you know, if you want to do something different, just throw it at us. You know, we're really happy to work with anybody. And same goes to the butcher. So when the drought was really severe and we had all these very thin cows and very, very fat calves, he just said to me, oh, you know, we've got this really, so we put veal on the menu to work around the producer to try and help, you know, the whole system, so that cow then can survive, you know, that, and there's no way in the world she's going to survive through the drought with that calf hanging off her. So that's a lovely attachment as well.
Yes. That's supporting them, you know, because you know that they're going to come back to you and say, you know, we're in the good times now, look at them all, they're all fat and healthy and delicious. This is the other thing, because being associated with a lot of the farmers in the area, we've actually also seen how the change with literally a few inches of rain, the difference it can make to the beasts and the quality of the meat, you know. And this is our big thing. Like, I mean, no wonder the world wants our produce, you know, and all of our animals. You know,
we're in an extremely enviable position. I always say, you know, with our seafood industry, with our beef industry, with everything that we have. And if we can help just that little bit, you know, to make things maybe a smidge easier for the grower, and that may not be, like, on the bigger scale of things, it's probably only small, or even making people aware that, you know, veal's a good thing to eat when it's a bit droughty. If those nice big fat Pinzgauer calves or I think it's just changing your thought process.
This is the thing. You've got the happiness here already.
Yeah.
And you know, if people aren't going to bring the happiness, you'll find it here.
Look, it's just a fabulous. I mean, I'm in love with the weather. I just think the weather's amazing, and that you could come up here and be on the coast, and it's like 24 degrees in the middle of winter, and you can pop up here and have a real winter experience.
Yes.
And we might not, have a day that's, only as high as 10, and it's dropping down to sort of like 1. You've got those fires blazing, you're having a glass of wine,
I know, I love that.
There's just that, or sitting out in the sun having breakfast.
I know.
It's one of those rare experiences in Queensland. It sort of starts in any of the high country, I guess, lower southeast Queensland, all the way down to the granite belt. Like, there's just this fabulous opportunity to come up and a really quick getaway. Don't forget that there's all these places
so much
up here.
To see, and the air smell does change.
Yeah.
I notice every season, the amount of trees and foliage in the area, you can smell it.
Yeah.
And the produce.
Yeah.
In every single season it changes. You think, you keep turning around. What is that?
Yeah.
You're searching for it.
Yeah.
But it's the joy.
Yeah,
the
and
joy.
the kicking of leaves. If you haven't kicked leaves for a while,
yes.
that's a joy in itself. These red amber leaves that drop around Toowoomba and around these areas, and just pushing your feet through them, and walking through the parks, and it doesn't happen on the coast.
No,
it's just it's a rarity, and get up here, and while it's happening that autumn where the colours are just incredible. And in the spring it's always going to be that bit cooler. The flowers that we have up here are remarkable. That you don't get on the coast.
There's a lot of them everywhere.
Yeah.
It's not just one season of flowers. Like, you go to Laurel Bank Park in April.
The roses,
it's glorious. It's so beautiful.
Wisteria.
Wisteria.
So we've got a wisteria just outside here, and I think it was probably one of the most photographed things we had for the year. So when the wisteria was, it's actually a borrowed view from next door, but when it was out in all its dripping purple, luxurious glory, there was families having photos in front of it. Everyone who wanted to be in front of the wisteria.
Yes.
And we even had a film crew from Korea come, and they did a massive big photo shoot.
How beautiful.
Yeah.
So the only other thing I'd like to quickly ask is breakfast, lunch and dinner. Tell me just one of your favourites that you've cooked. Breakfast, lunch and dinner.
So breakfast, it just depends, because, if you were talking like right now at the moment, or if you were talking sort of overall, certain things come to mind. The Black Berkshire ham comes to mind straight away, because we usually have it double smoked. It's from just up the road here at Emperor Pork. They're free range. They are wallowing in mud. Gordon looks after them like they're his own. They are his babies. So you end up with this pork that is so superior to, and that roasted, with a light glaze, on a bit of toast, maybe with a bit of fresh local avocado or some roasted tomatoes on the side, a couple of poached free-range eggs, and some lime hollandaise from limes from Hurlars just down the road here, just drizzled over the top. That's a pretty classic sort of, or even just a bit of ham and chutney, and rhubarb chutney, because
lunch.
Rhubarb.
What lunch?
Lunch, what would we say? Maybe some of the fish from Nindor Farms.
Oh, yes.
So we would talk, and that's just done with some capers, butter, fresh herbs, Murray cod. Can't go any better than that.
Could not.
And then dinner, what would we say? Probably the brisket, because the brisket represents the Darling Downs, that really slow cooked, maybe 6 to 8 hours cooked down.
Falls apart.
Roasted, falls apart. It's got that really beautiful layer of fat across the top. Traditional old white sauce like your mum probably used to make. It's the sort of food that, it's very comforting.
Yes.
It's not the sort of food that's challenging at all. You don't eat it and go, I don't know whether I could eat it. It's great food.
Easy.
Yeah.
So, but thank you so much again for coming.
Thank you for coming.
Give you a big that was wonderful.
Thank you.
So
It's been lovely
excited.
having you.
I was already passionate, but you've just put a
that's
log on the
fabulous.
fire of my
You'll
passion.
have to come back up.
It's lovely.
Thank you.
Madison for Travel Rural now. Thank you so much.